Well, that was fast. They both came on at the same time. Hi, welcome to Now What with Jeanna, where I answer questions, offer tips, and say stupid shit that I'm sure to later regret about addiction, sobriety, and recovery. If you have a question, please feel free to let me know. I'm going to wait a few minutes for maybe someone to hop on. And hi, I see Andrea here. Hey, Andrea, thank you. We wave at you. I actually got a couple cameras in front, so the poor people on the other ones, I don't think that waved right. The poor people on the other ones didn't get to see it. It's not waving at all. Hi, Andrea. I'll wave this way. Anyways, I'm going to start in just a second, but I first thought that I would talk about a few things. Oh, I didn't think about opening that up. One of the things that I wanted to talk about is that I am working with a friend of mine. We pulled her on. And hi again, Andrea. Maybe you fell off and came on. I don't know, because I tried to wave to you and it didn't work. So I'm waving to you again, but this time with my hands and not that little button on the screen. Anyway, so I'm working with a friend, Tabby. We've asked her to help us out, and hopefully I'm sure it will. I feel really confident about it. This will work out well for us. And we have been trying. I've been trying for months to start doing some clothing and other accessories. And I've had them designed and I had up there, but it was just really hard to keep up with it. So we've asked Tabitha to help us out. And hopefully in the next few weeks, she'll join me on a live. In fact, we've talked about it. She's a little nervous. Not even nervous so much as this is all new to her, but she'll join us on live and we get to talk about what we're doing. I've ordered a few products and I might do an unboxing to share that with you guys, but that is on nowsoberlife.com. And actually, if you go there, I think I still have one more thing to set up for the payments, but yeah, go check it out. The other thing, no, that's about it. So today I'm going to talk about New Year's resolutions and vision boards. And I think this is really important for us for recovery. So anyways, I have been doing a vision board for about, 5 or 6 years now. I started it because I didn't want to get arrested on New Year's Eve. It's a very busy arrest night, I'm thinking. And what would I do? This is when I was drinking. What would I do but go out and drink and then possibly get arrested? So I started doing it back, like I said, about 5 years ago to give me something to do on New Year's Eve that wasn't partying. And yeah, probably about 5 years, because I've been doing it 3 years. This sober. This will be my third year sober, and I did it at least 2 years prior to that. So in fact, I still got the little scratch on the wall where my mom pulled off when I was living with my mom, she pulled off the tape and it didn't pull off so well. So anyways, yeah, I've been doing this for about 5 years instead of going out and partying. But I really made a point to do it in the last 3 years for some goals that I have. And I have a couple of my past 2-year vision boards. So I'm going to share that with you guys. Anyways, also, I guess about 5 years ago when I decided to do this, I did some research on New Year's resolutions. And I don't know about yours, but mine never held. And I found out why. Not just why, but some statistics on it. So less than 8% of people will keep their New Year's resolutions throughout the first year, throughout the year. By the end of the first week, approximately 25% of everyone who makes a New Year's resolution will drop. By the end of the second week, that's 29%. By the end of the first month, that's almost half. 46% of people who made a New Year's resolution will drop off. And then by the end of 6 months, it's 64%. But as we said, less than 8% will actually keep it throughout the year. It's 92%. And I've seen that 92% in a couple different places. I want to say that when I first did the research and wrote an article, and I could be wrong, but I have seen this number as well, and that is that only 12% keep their New Year's resolutions. So I stopped making them. a long time ago. Actually, I don't even know that I really made some. I mean, I always thought about it. And honestly, um, I will start my diet on the first of the year. And I never started my diet on the first of the year. So I don't even know if that counts as a resolution. I said I would do it, but by the first of the year, I didn't do it. I never did it. And by the way, who wants to start a diet on New Year's Day? I know, not me, because there's food on New Year's Day. But anyways, so I want to talk about some of the reasons why they fell, and I want to talk about my vision board and why that works for me instead. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm looking around to make sure everything's going all right. I don't know that it is, but that's okay. We're just going to keep on going. So there's I got listed 6 reasons. I've seen a bunch of different reasons, but I listed some of the top 6 reasons why they fail. First thing is, I think this might be the biggest one, is that they're based on a date and not a desire. Based on a date and not a desire. So what that means is, if you're choosing January 1st to start your diet, to quit drinking, to start bettering yourself, to meditate, if you're waiting on a date to do that, it's probably because you don't really want to do that. So it's based on a date, not a desire. If you don't want to do something, you're probably not going to keep up with it. I will quit smoking the first of the year. That was something I did not want to do. It was, I chose a date, but I didn't really want to do it. This is an problem of ambivalence. So on the one hand, I would like to quit smoking. Actually, I vape now. I'm gonna consider that, but not on New Year's Day. So, anyways, on the one hand, you want to quit smoking, or I wanted to quit smoking. You want to quit drinking because you know it's better for you. You know it's causing problems. On the other hand, you don't want to. A lot of you probably feel this. Was where I was. I wanted to, but I didn't want to. I just didn't have enough desire to do it until suddenly I did. That desire is not going to come just because you set a date. It's not going to happen on the 14th of February because it's Valentine's Day. It's got to happen because you want it. And if you really want it, why are you holding off for this date? So that's one of the reasons resolutions fail. Another reason is, and all of this probably, if you relate it to alcohol and drinking, it probably all fits. The second reason is you don't believe it's possible or knew you wouldn't stick to this. I don't know how many times I could say that about alcohol. In fact, one of the things we talk about in meetings is the promises people break about quitting drinking. And I can honestly say, I don't know that I ever made a promise to my family, to my mom, to my kids about quitting drinking. I might have, but I don't recall having done it because I wasn't ready to do it. And I didn't want to break that promise. I didn't think it was possible, or I knew I wouldn't stick to it. So why make the promise? Well, if you don't think it's possible today on January 1st, it's not going to be any different. And if you don't think it's possible, the chances that you're going to stick with it are very unlikely. The third reason is that there's no social support. A lot of people don't have it. A lot of people do. I've been with friends and says, let's start working out in January. And we've done it, so, and actually we done it. I mean, I remember in California, I had a girlfriend, Melissa, and she said, let's start working out in the first year. And we did. We didn't hold on to it, by the way. We were probably done within 6 months of that one. But we said we'd do it, and we started out doing it. But I had someone I was working with, and that helped me through. That might have been the only time I've really held on to a resolution. I don't know. And for me, it wasn't a resolution. For me, it was something to do. For her, it was definitely a resolution. She's the one that asked me to do it with her. And so we had a little bit of support there with each other, and we're able to do it for a while. But actually, that fell off. That fell off. Actually, if I remember right, it fell off for her faster than it did for me, because sometime after that, I remember I stopped exercising and working out with her at the gym But then shortly after that, I got my aerobics license and started teaching. So it did last a little longer for me than it did her. I did that for about 4 years. I taught aerobics. All right. The fourth reason is that a lot of people don't understand their why. And again, as we apply this to alcohol, you know, if I'm quitting for other people, that's not my why. You know, if I'm I just had to really define why it was important for me to do this. And early on in recovery, why it was important for me to do this was because I couldn't do it any longer. I couldn't. Oh my God, I was broken. I couldn't. I just didn't want to be the way I was, and that was my why. After I started seeing some of the benefits of recovery, I started building different whys, and it worked out well for me. So the fifth reason resolutions don't work is that the resolution or goal, so resolution truly is a goal, it isn't well defined. And we're going to talk about what that means later when we find out what will make this work. So we're going to talk about how to define it. But when I say it's not really well defined, what I'm saying is that to say I want to lose weight is not really well defined. I haven't addressed how much I want to lose. I haven't addressed how I'm going to go about doing it. I haven't addressed how long I think I want it to take. There's a lot of things that, just I'm going to lose weight after the first of the year. That's not a well-defined goal or even a well-defined resolution. And then the sixth falls along that same line is that you don't have a plan to achieve it. If you haven't defined your goal, how are you going to prepare? How are you going to plan to achieve it? Let's see. I'm trying to think about that one. Oh, I know. So if I just want to lose weight and get thin, but I don't plan to exercise, I'm thinking muscles here. I mean, I'm thinking I don't want to just lose weight. I want to build some muscles. And if I'm building some muscles, then I'm not going to lose weight in the same way. So if you're building muscles, how's your plan to achieve that? Well, of course, you got to work out. You got to, create a workout program that builds, what you want. I don't know. I'm stuttering at this point. But here's what I did instead. Instead of making resolutions, I started the vision board. And vision boards, I don't know. I'm creative that way. I like to color and decorate and do all that stuff. So it worked out for me. But also the vision board will help you manifest what you want. And so I want to talk about how important this is. This is two experiences that ended up being really, really strange, spot on. And I didn't plan it. I just kind of manifested it. The first one is moving to Alabama. And I did not talk about this in my classes, Andrea, because I don't know if I talked about law of attraction when you were in the class, but I didn't talk about law of attraction when I was teaching. I did talk about it when I was teaching. I didn't talk about my moving to Alabama experience. So this one's going to be new for you. Anyways, when I was 15, I came out to Alabama with my grandma for, I think it was like 6 weeks it was the summer, but I ended up leaving early. So it was about 6 weeks for me. And I spent 4th of July on the pier on Fairhope. 4th of July, it was just amazing. The water was beautiful. It's really murky now, but back then it was really pretty. It was kind of a aquamarine, and I could see the fish underneath, and it was kind of cool. It's not the same. I don't know what happened, but I remember coming out here and going, wow, it's not the same. Well, maybe 30 years happened. I had 30 years between 15 and now. 30 years, 40 years, I don't know. I'm old. But anyways, so I said I was on that pier with a bunch of friends. I said, one day I will live in Fairhope, Alabama. Now, I really did not anticipate it actually happening. I simply said it and, ended my vacation, went back to California, spent, 15. I didn't get here till I was about 40 something. So I spent about 45 years. Is that right? 35 years? Yeah, it wasn't 45, about 35 years. I don't know, 30 years in California. And then when I moved to Alabama and I had my first 4th of July in Alabama, I remembered that. And I thought, isn't that freaking crazy? Here I am living not in Fairhope, but pretty darn close to Fairhope. I mean, literally, it's 20 miles from me. So I can go to the pier anytime I want. And that was just something that I set as a goal and then let go of it. I kind of forgot about it for a lot of years. The other thing that happened was that a couple years after that, my boyfriend and I, who ended up being my husband, went to on a camping trip up in Pinecrest there in California, and we got lost looking for Columbia, Columbia, the city, the little gold mining town in Columbia, and we got lost looking for it. And on a campus, I thought it was a mental institution. It did have some tennis courts and lighting. It had this weird dome building, and I was like, this has got to be like a nursing facility or something. I don't know. It was strange the way it looked, but I just thought it was a mental institution. But it was such a cool place that I remember saying, I'm going to work here one day. I don't know why. I'm going to work here one day. Well, several years passed. I am in my 30s, getting ready to finish my degree. I might get the last semester of my master's degree. And someone told me about this community college that was looking for an intern, work for pay, but you'd have I don't know if intern's the right word, but work for pay, but you would have a mentor watching you. And I thought, whatever, I will go for a practice interview. I didn't think I'd get it. Did not think I'd get the job. It was going to be a practice interview and just to see how I did and whatever. So I went up to the college and I interviewed. And before I left the college, it was so surreal. They said, excuse me a minute, we're going to step away. They stepped away, came back, and they said, okay, so you'll start on this day. Oh, by the way, do you want the job? Okay, yeah, I want the job. And it was weird. They never do that. Never do that for college professors. There's a whole interview process, usually with 4 or 5 people in the interview and a committee, and they all go away and decide on, 5 or 6 people, candidates who they might want and whatever. This happened on the spot, with it just wasn't supposed to happen. I was a practice interview, for crying out loud. So as I was leaving the campus, I noticed the tennis courts. I noticed the dome building. I noticed the sign that said Columbia Community College. And I was like, oh my God, I already said I'd work here. So anyways, long story, but that's manifesting. And I really do believe it works because of those 2 experiences, which were so random in my world. But they did happen. And I wasn't searching for them to happen. They just happened. It worked out really well for me. So for that reason, I put this in the wrong order. For that reason, I really do believe in vision boards. And it is actually much like a resolution. I don't create a vision board and then say, okay, on January 1st, I'm going to start working towards it. I create the vision board, decide what I want, put it on the vision board, and then just kind of let go. Every so often I'll go by and take a look at it, but I let go of those desires and dreams. Not totally in the sense that I just, I don't believe that it's going to happen just because you say it's going to happen. You have to work towards those goals. And that's exactly what I did with my random goals, the teaching part at Columbia. I didn't know that was a school, but I was working towards teaching. Moving to Alabama, I made those moves and then realized after the fact that they were happening. So anyways, vision boards, yes, they do work a lot like it, but they offer, I didn't think about this when I put this on here, when I decided to do this. Oh, so here is 2021 vision board. Some of you will be seeing this backwards. But these are the things that I decided a year ago that I wanted to create with my life. And I'll just go through a few. So I do want a dog. Now, you can't see that. I do want a dog. I'm like totally random here. Anyways, so I'm just going to, what I'm going to do is tell you how to build the vision board first. And then I'll tell you, I'll give you the examples here. So the first thing you want to do is list the things you want from your life. In fact, you make a lot of lists. Who do you want to be? What are your values? What kind of goals do you have? What do you want to do with your life? What feelings do you want to feel in the next year? What kind of people do you want in your life? Make all these lists of all these things. Love. Oh, here we go. Love is a good one. So a lot of us want to have the perfect mate, but we don't define what that is. So if you want to fall in love this year, what are the qualities of the man you want to fall in love with? Think about those kind of things. List the environment you want to live in. I wanted to move to Alabama. I didn't put it on a vision board because I wasn't doing vision boards back then. But yes, I wanted to move to Alabama. Actually, I'll show you one of my vision boards. I'd like to live by the beach. And actually, that is on every vision board that I have. Is it on this one? It is not on this one, but yes, I do want to live by the beach, and it's on this one and my next one. So anyways, and here's a big one, because really, if you're here listening, you're probably thinking about sobriety. You may have been trying to do sobriety, working towards sobriety. You may have started, but aren't sure how to do it. So if that's your goal, I would probably include on here, what does sobriety look like to you? What does it look like to you? And I don't mean, the bad things. I mean the good things. What do you want it to look like? I want it to look like success. I'm working with you guys and building something out of it. So I want something to come out of that. I want good relationships with my family and my children, my mom. So what does sobriety look like to you? And what you're going to do is collect all these images that represent these things, but you're also going to collect quotes that remind you of the things you want, that inspire you and motivate you to get the things you want. Select words that inspire you, phrases that inspire you, or phrases. What I like to do is pick a word of the year. The year before last was I can't. Was it I can't? No, that's my 2020. It wasn't. I think it was 3 years ago. Was I can, and that's because I got tired of people telling me you can't do that, and finally I said my word of the year, my phrase of the year is actually I can do that. I can succeed. So you might pick a phrase. Also, you might want to think of and make a list of affirmations. So I have you'll see in my I got a mock-up of the vision board for this year. My affirmation, and I think I have it on this one, maybe. I have trouble with money, not just having money, keeping money. I'm afraid of money. It's one of my mental blocks. I'm afraid I'm going to lose it if I have it. I'm afraid it's going to be stolen from me. So I put an affirmation on my vision boards. I am, everything I do turns into excess. I attract to me unlimited abundance. That's from 2 years ago. And I don't have it on this one, but I have had it on several. I attract wealth. I do have it on this one. I attract wealth, just to try and get me past those money blocks. So you might want to put on a handful of affirmations, and we can talk about that. If you're interested, please let me know how to do that, and I can do something on that in the future, how to create affirmations. But also gratitudes. What are you grateful for? I am grateful for my relationship with my children. I just spent today with my granddaughter, and we had a great time today. I am exhausted because of it, but a gratitude is a relationship with grandchildren that I didn't have a few years ago. And then also, let's see, I said word of the year, phrase of the year, but also a mission statement. And what a mission statement is that's that goal statement that our mission is to build a business where people can learn how to become entrepreneurs. My mission statement for Now Sober is, and I'm a little sketchy on this because we changed it since we added the family aspect of it. But my mission statement for Now Sober Women is to build a community. My mission is to build a community where women can support each other and recover from addiction and childhood sexual abuse and shame. So that's not quite right. Because like I said, I'm revising it for the family aspect of Now Sober. And then a vision statement. I want to see a world where everyone can love one another and live in harmony. That's a vision statement. So once you've created, I do that. So I'm going to come back to this. I showed you that 2021 one. I don't think I am. Yeah. So in 2021, my word of the year was believe. Some of the things I wanted, again, I said I want a border collie. I want a porch, back porch chats. This back porch chats. We wanted the podcast. That has happened. We are on, I think, we've recorded 3 episodes this week. It's exhausting, but I love it. But we have published episode number 38 of our podcast, and it's going great. So, that one's coming true. I want to build clients. This is a goal, is to have clients, and I wrote myself a $50,000 check just because Jim Carrey did it, and I want more money than that. But some of the quotes that I had: courage over comfort. Again, you can't see it. Some of you can, depending on which stream you're looking through. And my affirmations: I am confident, I am intelligent, I am strong. When I speak, people listen. The work I do is good. So those are some of my affirmations. These are things I wanted to believe about myself. And actually, I have learned that over the year, I did not believe these things when I first decided to do this, a lot of them. But over the year, a lot of those has happened. So, and then I picked some good quotes. My life is my message by Gandhi, and walk inside your story. Confident, determined, and fearless. That's the kind of person I wanted to be and I wanted to represent. So I put those there. And think, dream, plan. Can't see that, but there you go. So that was last year's. And I will talk. I will talk about. Let me throw this one out here. So this was the year before. And something I think that's important to say. I will throw this in here. So up here, I got a TED Talk and speaking. And I have that on my last one, too. I've got a speaking element of my vision board. And then I have Pardon This Rebel. Where did it go? Oh, Pardon This Rebel up here. So I want to talk about these because not your vision won't always come out as you planned. But everything I wanted with Pardon This Rebel is happening, but it's happening with Now Sober. I just changed the name a little bit and revised my audience, my target audience. But everything that is happening that I wanted to happen with Now Sober is now happening. I'm not saying this. Everything I wanted to happen with Pardon This Rebel is now happening with Now Sober. And but it's happening better. It's weird. It's happening better. So much more is happening. So that's there, including I wanted to do a TED Talk. That's the microphone. And I'm not there yet, but it's happening. That's the thing. I'm speaking here. Good Lord, when I did this vision board, I would have never come on live like this and stumbled through every bit of it, but I wouldn't have done this. So it is happening. And the TED Talk, the TED Talk will happen. I noticed I got believe on here again. So apparently I want to believe a lot. And this one last year I had for quotes, be the Amazon you admire. Now, an Amazon to me, I said this to a woman one time and she was really offended. I says, you're the Amazon, Jerry. And she was really offended. And I don't know what she took it to mean, but me, an Amazon is a strong warrior woman. So that's why I put that. I got creative. If you look down here, this is, I can change my quote out. I put a magnet on it. And so I can change my quote out as time goes on. Can't do it with one hand. There you go. And then here, This is actually, this was me dreaming of a man. And I found one. I found one, but I wanted a man who was intelligent, who would stand by my side, who would work with me, and that's exactly what I discovered. And I said I had beach home for a couple years in a row. So there's my beach home affirmations. So they're all here, and more affirmations. I love you. I am at rest with you. I have come home. This is my beach home. So, anyways, if you're gonna do your vision board, when you do the vision board, you want to post it where you'll see it. Mine until Christmas, my daughter had a portrait of my son and me done, and that is in that spot now. But until that was there, I had it directly in front of me, in front of my computer, so that I could look at it on a daily basis. If I feel like I'm losing traction with my goal, or I'm if I have a couple days where I'm not really doing what I need to be doing, I might stop and take a look at it and just kind of sort of absorb what the goal is to get myself back on track. And then, of course, the biggest thing is you have to take action. You are not going to achieve, whether it's a resolution or the things on a vision board, if you don't do the work. And so you have to take action. So tips for achieving these things that you put on the vision board is to, number one, know your why. If you don't know why you're doing it, then it's not going to be important to you. Why do I quit drinking? If I didn't know why, then why would I quit drinking? So figure out what your why is. And I'm looking, I'm looking to see, I'm getting all these beeps and buttons, and I'm looking to see if I'm getting something on my restream, and I don't see anything. So if you guys are commenting on other channels, please let me know. Or I guess you can't. If you're commenting, I'm not seeing it. Please excuse me. I'm not ignoring you. I just can't see it. So anyways, know your why. Number two, make it smart. So what that means is it's SMART goals are specific, achievable, relevant, and time-based. Remember I said earlier that the goals aren't specific enough, they aren't defined enough. SMART goals define the goal, the dream, the desire enough so that you can achieve it. So specific, I am going to wait on starting New Year's Day, not specific. I want to lose 20 pounds starting New Year's Day. That's much more specific. Make it measurable, 20 pounds. 20 is measurable. So as you're losing the weight, you can start counting it down. Make it achievable. I want to lose 120 pounds in 2 months. Not achievable. I want to lose 120 pounds in 2 years. More likely. So, and then relevant. If you are only 140 pounds, then 120 pounds is not relevant to your goal. So make it relevant. And then the last is time-based. Set a time deadline by this date. Now, of course, I haven't quite done that with my vision board, but they're longer than the 2 months I might do, or the 1 year I might do. And so anyways, I do have some time-based items on my vision board, though. Just not everything on it. You want to document your progress. And I'm going to look at this vision board and show you how I chose to document. Down here, you can see this. These are documented items on my progress. So this one here, I'll pull this off. This one here is for the podcast. So I have set some goals on the podcast in this little cheat sheet here for downloads. I wanted 822 downloads by the end of the year. This was starting in January 1. So I put down a handful of goals: 100 downloads, 150 downloads, 200 downloads, 500 downloads, and then all the way down at the bottom, which was 822. 22? I don't know why we chose that number. It is such a random number, but we did choose 822 downloads, and each heart represents the goal achieved. Now, as of today, we are at 1,919 downloads. So I've achieved that goal, and this is probably the biggest one that I had worked towards achieving. I mean, that was the one that I truly believed would happen. I didn't truly believe it would happen, but I started to believe as soon as I started working at it. But I've got money goals in there. I've got client goals on there. You saw it's a whole list. I have webinars that I wanted to do. I didn't do webinars, but I did start going live, and actually I could tick off all my webinars. Now I'm doing them in much the same way as I would do them as a webinar. The lives, maybe not. Actually, the webinars, I would probably do a screen share and all that, which I'm actually going to do today. So anyways, so I do have some goals there. The fourth way to make it successful is to be patient. Half the stuff that I have on here, I'm not there yet. I'm patient. It's going to happen, but these are pretty big goals, to go from 0 clients to enough clients to make $50,000 in a year is not going to happen. And I knew it wasn't going to happen, but I didn't intend it to happen in the first year. I intended to 2 or 3 years, which, it's not realistic for 1 year. It's very realistic for 2 or 3 years. It might be realistic for 2 years. I don't know. But anyways, do it with a friend. And actually, I am going to do my vision board this year with Tabitha. I think I'm going to do it with Tabitha. We talked about doing it together, and also about doing it in a couple different places as a group activity. And when you do your vision board with a friend, then they are invested as well. For doing them together, they're invested in your goals. They know what your goals are. They can ask you, how are you doing on this, or how are you doing on that? They can hold you accountable, and you can hold them accountable. You can work together towards achieving these goals. So you want to do that. And then, of course, reward yourself. Once you get something, it happens on the vision board, reward yourself. So there we go. And why does this work? And I don't know why it works, other than I believe it does. But I've talked about the RAS several times before, and I think it has something to do with that. First of all, when you have a vision board and it's big and it's got these images and these single words and stuff like that, you can walk past it and just see, and it works in your subconscious level to keep moving in that direction, that direction. So that's one of the reasons why I think it works. With a New Year's resolution, a lot of times we don't write it down. We don't, solidify the goal in words, in a contract sort of way, or in images or anything. We don't really have a good vision with what it means to have a New Year's resolution, or, that particular goal. The other reason, we're with a vision board, we do. The other reason I think it works has to do with the RAS, or reticular activating system. When you visualize that thing that you want, when you can really see it, and really claim that you want it, then your brain says, oh, okay, well, this will help you get it, and this will help you get it, and this will help you get it. And the reticular activating system works like a sieve. You pour, or a strainer, you pour your spaghetti in, all the water comes out, and what's left is the part you want. So your reticular activating works in a similar way. All these things that you don't want pour straight through, and the brain filters what you do want so that you can see it and reach it better. Anyway, so the last one I want to share with you is, let me see if I can do this. I get to screen share. Watch this happen. Oh, actually, I'm sorry if you're on Instagram, you're not going to get the screen share. I cannot use Restream with my Instagram. But if you are on Facebook or YouTube or anything like that, you got my vision board up on there. And I can tell you on Instagram, my phrase of the year this year is going to be, from the ashes and rubble of our lives, we can build mansions. It's actually something Vincent had said on a podcast. I loved it. What a great phrase. Because, before I quit drinking, my life was in ashes and rubble. and it's starting to move in the direction of mansions. And I love that phrase. So that is actually on my vision board, or at least going to be on my vision board. This is a mock-up that I'm actually doing for a Canva design challenge, but I thought I'd share it with you today. I also, if you see, I also want to increase my spirituality, and I want success. The 3Ds, dedication, determination, and diligence. I learned that years ago. I hold on to the 3Ds. Also, did I say financial stability? By financial stability, I want financial stability. I want a good house. I want a, success. But more than that, what I really mean by financial stability is a financially stable mindset. So, and then, as I said, I want a beach house. If you can see my vision board, I have beach houses lined up on the bottom. They're beach houses because they're weird colors. Hello, I see. Good news, Rob. Thank you for joining us. I'm about to finish up. You missed it. I'm sorry. I am talking about New Year's resolutions versus vision boards, and I shared my vision boards in here. And I'm for some of you guys on some of the other channels, you're seeing it because I can share my screen. I can't do it on Instagram, so I am apologizing for that. Hopefully, Instagram will shift this a little bit, because I would like to be able to share. I would like to be able to do this different, but anyways, so that's about it. I have been contemplating doing a vision board live, or even recording it and putting it on. If anyone is interested in seeing that or experiencing that or joining me in that, let me know. I usually do it New Year's Eve. Like I said, it gives me something to do that doesn't involve alcohol, and doesn't make me want to go out and party and do things that are going to get me in trouble. I started doing that years ago. Now it's not really that big of a concern, but I think this year, New Year's Eve, I will be spending some time out at our 12-step program, because they're going to do some big stuff. I don't know. We'll see. But probably New Year's Day, I would be available to do that if anyone's interested, or maybe the week after. So, anyways, let me know, and I will design some things to help us organize our thoughts and feelings, and, give you an idea of what you need to look for in terms of quotes, and so where we can find those things. Let me know. In the meantime, I'm going to sign off of here, because I had my grandbaby today, which was wonderful, but that makes me tired, so I'm ready to go to bed. And I haven't eaten dinner, and that makes me hungry. So I want to eat. So anyways, I'm going to sign off. In the meantime, I want to say thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to subscribe and follow Now What with Jeanna on, let's see, where am I at? YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and I got them posted on LinkedIn and Twitter. They're not my focal channels, so I don't know that I put them there, but my focal channels, I just can't do everything. I want to. I really want to. I can't. So, anyways, that's where I'm at. And the next episode, where we will talk about, why don't someone tell me? I would love to answer your questions. So if you have questions about sobriety, about mindset, about having fun and I don't know. If you have questions that you want to know, please let me know. I would love to answer them. The whole idea was to answer those questions for you. And I just, hopefully I'm doing that. So that's it for today on Now What with Jeanna. I'll see you next week at 7 Central Time. I'm in Alabama, because several years ago I moved here after after being 15 and saying I was going to spend the 4th of July. I was going to live in Alabama one day at Fairhope. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you for joining me, Andrea. And good news, Rob. I'm assuming that's Rob. So hi, Rob. Thank you for joining me. And I will see you guys next week at 7. All right. I guess that's it. Talk to you later. Bye. Okay. Now I get to turn things off. go to bed and eat. I'm hungry. They're stuck there. End video. Hey. Hey, guys. Shh. You're supposed to go. I'm leaving. I don't even know. Where's the button? There we go.